Venti is on his way to Genshin, and so let's talk about why you should summon for this Anemo support right now. So Venti is coming in 2.6 along with Ayato and Ayaka. Now this is a little surprising as many thought Kazuha would be making his return, but nonetheless many are excited. So Venti is an amazing support who, while has dropped off a little bit, is still very good in the right situation. So what does he bring to the table? Well, his greatest strength, as I mentioned in my previous video, is his crowd control. He's the king of crowd control, providing the best crowd control in the game right now, and the big reason for that is due to his burst. So everyone knows what his burst does by now, but if you don't, it pretty much sends an arrow at the target location, creating a vortex that sucks up all the enemies, dealing decent Anemo damage. But the big thing about this burst is not only the crowd control and sucking up all the enemies together, allowing your DPS characters to DPS them down, but it's also the infusion, which really helps with the damage of this burst. And also if you pair him up with the 4-piece Viridescent Venera, which is his best in slot artifact set, it will further help your main DPS by shredding their elemental resistance. Now while enemies are in this vortex scene, they can be damaged by your allies' abilities and such, and that is the big reason why he is able to clear domains with such fast speed, given the right team comps. But now the big sort of negative of this ability, and part of why he has fallen off, is because he cannot suck up certain enemies. Most notably, large enemies cannot be grouped together with this burst. He'll still deal damage, however they won't be sucked up and they can still move. And seeing as recently there's sort of been a trend with Genshin with more and more enemies that cannot be sucked up, or the fact that the final floors of the abyss have more and more single enemy battles, which really hurt Venti as he's more of an AoE focused character than a single target one. However, one area that he's really good in is domains. So something you'll always need to do in Genshin is artifact grinding, which can be quite mind-numbingly boring at times, and so ways to speed this up is always really good. And one way to do this is with Venti, as he is not just good, he is the best person at domain farming due to his burst. And so if this is something you find boring or are looking for someone to speed this up, then Venti is the one for you. But now I've talked a lot about his crowd control, it's amazing, but what else can Venti offer? So another big thing that Venti can bring to the table that he's also one of the best at is energy generation. So one of his passive talents gives him the ability to restore 15 energy every time he uses his burst for himself and the person who infused their element in his burst, which means as long as you can get that first Venti burst out there, himself and his teammates should have no energy issues, which is really good as more energy is always a good thing. And so it's very clear he's a great support and is able to fit into many different teams due to not only his kit but also his element. Now another good thing about Venti is his weapon. So his best in slot is in fact the Stringless at refinement level 5, which is a 4-star weapon, which is good news for us free to play players as it's much easier to obtain than the 5 stars. It's also not too difficult to get to that refinement level 5 compared to 5 stars obviously. And so if you already possess this weapon, then that's great news as you already have his best in slot. Now this is the second rerun Venti will be getting, and so it's quite likely that many people already have him, so they may be going for his constellations, which, sad to say, aren't that great. In fact, they're pretty bad. A few of them focus on improving his damage output, which again, as a support, won't help too much, which means if you already have him, then it's probably not worth going for these, unless, again, you're thinking of building him as a sub DPS or DPS character, or perhaps you just want to absolutely max out Venti. But so overall, Venti is a strong character with great supporting capabilities, and while he isn't as strong as he once was due to newer enemies not being able to be grabbed and such, he is still a great addition to any team out there. And so overall, would I recommend you get Venti? Most definitely. He's still one of a kind character that no one else, at least right now, can truly match. Now if you already have him, then it's probably enough, no need to spend any more primo gems on him. Now personally, seeing as I already got him in the last rerun, I'm probably not going to be summoning for him this time around, but if you do decide to summon for him, then I wish you all the best. He's a great character. But now I hope you enjoyed watching this video about Venti's confirmed rerun, and if you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.